Good morning, everyone. Let's see. Hope you had a good weekend. Had a good weekend. Some home projects and a little bit of work and things like that. Before we get started, a couple little housekeeping items. For one, if you have a listing that you want to get in front of the team, maybe it's coming soon or something like that, let us know and you can come on in the morning and just, pitch your listing real quick before we get our meeting started. Um, it's a good way to, get it in front of the team and stuff like that. Um, Secondly, so we're going to be going over some social media stuff today, as well as some other ideas as well. But I want to make a reminder that the DRE is out there definitely looking at social media posts. The local associations are also looking at social media posts. Sometimes we get notifications from either or both regarding social media posts, and just make sure that you are putting in your credentials on each of them. That's the best way to just, be compliant and not have to worry about either one of them, sending a warning or something like that about your social media posts. If you are advertising an open house that is not your open house, be sure, or a listing that's not yours, maybe you got permission. Well, you always want to get permission, and they want to see that in writing. A text message can work, an email can work, but don't get verbal okays when it comes to advertising other brokers' listings, whether it's open house or just marketing their listing. You have to give credit to them in that post. So you don't want to get any warnings or violations from the DRE or from your local association regarding your social media. That's really probably about it for housekeeping items for today. So we're going to go over some seasonal marketing ideas. So I do this this presentation or variations of it every year, right in the beginning of October. I've been doing it probably 4 or 5 years now, maybe 6. This is a great time of year, starting in October, where we have a lot of events coming up, a lot of holidays, a lot of big holidays coming up. And it's really a great time to kind of re-engage with your social media audience, re-engage with your sphere of influence. If you have, maybe gotten a little lazy about that, it happens to everybody. It happens to me as well. This is a really good time to kind of reconnect and re-engage and let that carry you through into 2025. So this is really my favorite time of year when it comes to, hey, I want to start doing this, or I want to start doing that. We have 3 really great months coming up ahead that are great excuses to really kind of reach out, get involved, things like that. So we're going to be going over that today. We're going to start with some basics on kind of tailoring your social media and events and other things like that. But first, I'm curious if you can post in the chat, or if you want to raise your hand and talk, where your last transaction came from. Because I'd like to see, somewhat of a poll of where everybody's getting their deals. Are you getting them from friends and family? Is it from cold calling? Are you doing open houses? Just where did your last transaction come from? And then we'll check that out. So first, I'm going to start with a graphic that I came across just to share some information about where business comes from as real estate agents. So it looks like about a quarter of the buyers and sellers, almost evenly, Find their real estate agents through family, colleagues, social connections. And truthfully, that's what I hear a lot of the time. When I'm talking to you, you say, I got referred this listing, I got referred this buyer. That is truly one of the best sources is your sphere of influence. So we're going to focus on that a little bit today. Now, what's interesting is if you look at millennials, most likely they're going to turn to a friend, neighbor, or relative. Almost 60% of them. So, and they are soon to be the biggest housing buyer market. If not, they might be already. They are definitely coming in strong. They are one of the biggest segments of real estate transactions right now. So, reaching out through your sphere of influence, this is where they will find you, and this is who they will be asking about you. So you want to be that go-to referral agent or that agent that is top of mind with your sphere of influence so that you can get referred out. We've all seen this one quite a bit. Past customers. So 10% of buyers use agents or brokers with past experience. 23% sellers connect with agents with past experience. 9 out of 10 buyers would use their agent again and recommend their agent to others. So this is why referrals are so great, is because if you stay connected with your sphere of influence, you have a high likelihood that not only they will use you again, but they're going to refer you out. And, it happens all too many times where if you've been in the business a number of years, you sell a certain home and, we automatically think that our buyer is just going to reach back out to us as a seller down the road. But if you're not remaining in contact with them, or at least in front of them fairly regularly, don't be surprised when they list with another agent, right? Because there's lots of agents out there doing lots of marketing, mailers and, ads and all kinds of stuff. So, or, they might just say casually at dinner, oh yeah, I'm thinking about selling my house soon. And then all of a sudden, one of their friends says, I have this great agent because I just bought a house and they were awesome. Here's their number. And all of a sudden now they're using this other agent and they've completely forgot about you. So you don't want to be that person or that agent that is losing business. That is super easy to get because 9 out of 10 of them would use you again. So we don't want to lose out on easy business. Professional referrals. I see a lot of referral agreements from a lot of you all the time, which is great. You're getting business in, you're sending business out to other states and things like that and reciprocating. So 92% of buyers who finance their home with mortgage get pre-approved first, obviously. Builders, if you haven't been looking at new construction with your clients, I would suggest that because almost 40% consider new homes when they are looking for a new home. So take a look at the new homes, especially the millennial buyers and things like that. They want new stuff. They have a certain idea of what their home should look like in their head. We're talking about the HGTV generation, and we all know what they want. We see these flip homes and these new homes, and that's their expectation. So if they can get that with new construction, they're definitely interested. Let's see where some of the business came from. Yep, so we have a sphere of influence, referrals, previous client, past client, and conversation from cold call, neighbor, investors and previous clients. A lot of new construction is offering co-ops these days. It's true, Angela, they haven't stopped. So just from the comments alone, you can see that pretty much everybody got their last transaction from either a previous client or their sphere of influence somehow. I don't even know. Let's see. We had one say from a cold call. So not that cold calls don't work, but sphere of influence is really where the business is. I'd say almost the vast majority of you that responded said that you got it from some sort of sphere of influence. So, and that's kind of what I was expecting actually. So, agent referrals, these are great connecting with, especially out of area and out of state agents, because let's face it, if someone is going to move out of California, there's a high likelihood they're already talking to somebody in another state, another agent in another state. Um, and hopefully you're connecting with some of these other agents so that they can refer you, hopefully, the listing back here. Because if they're talking to them as a buyer and starting to scout around and things like that, um, you want to be on that list. Vice versa, if you're talking to somebody who is thinking about moving out of state, you're, providing a reliable source out of state or out of the area for them to go to can help lock in a referral agreement for yourself. Plus, your client's going to get taken care of, and hopefully that agent will help with making sure that you do get the listing on this end as well. So look at those as well. And I do see some real estate agents that they're really working diligently with out of area agents to refer business back and forth. So it's a great source of business. Social media, marketing and advertising, posting videos, 45% Gen Z and 41 of millennial buyers find recorded videos of homes very or extremely important. So, if you are not on social media, consider YouTube. YouTube is considered social media, but, posting your videos there, optimizing them a little bit. There's lots of information out there about that. I can also help you with that a little bit. That is a great source to post your content, because people love videos. They want to see homes, they want to see neighborhoods, they want to see communities, and they love watching that stuff. Direct mail, print ads. We did a webinar a while back about, mailers aren't dead. And what do you know? About 21% of business is coming from mailers. Site content, this is, I'd say not a lot of realtors are doing this these days. Not at a high level anyways. Some are, but I think the segment has really shrunk down a lot because I think a lot of real estate agents feel like it's kind of hopeless, because there's the big portals out there that, will always be first on Google and things like that, but there are ways to beat that. And site content with a blog and things like that can really, it's a long game, but it doesn't cost any money. It's just time. So putting together decent articles and things like that. And that is something that I do know something about. So if you ever want to get into that, let me know. Reviews, always have something for reviews, because if you are marketing at all, anywhere, social media, if you're doing mailers, if you're doing ads, anything, a lot of times the first thing they will do before they even call you is they will Google your name and see if you have reviews or not. So I personally use Google My Business. But wherever you are basically advertising is where you should probably put your reviews. I don't really recommend Yelp, but I actually don't see a whole lot of agents on there. There's some that are on there and they have a lot and they spend money with Yelp, but if you're getting a call from them to advertise on Yelp, if you don't have a ton of reviews, it really doesn't go very far. But some of the other places do, especially if you're spending money there for lead generation or anything like that. So let's get into some of the other stuff. So the last quarter of the year is really the best time, like I was saying, to get going with your marketing. If you started out the year strong and kind of petered out, now's the best time to get back into it. So that way there you're not starting in January. You want to already be rolling in January so that you're closing sales in January from stuff that you're doing today. So if you start today, obviously this all takes a little bit of a build, but at least you already have momentum going into the year instead of starting the year with no momentum. So I want to touch on audiences real quick. You should really have, if you haven't heard of what an avatar is, it's basically what's your ideal customer, And when I ask that question, um, I guess what comes to mind when I say what's your ideal customer? Um, I see a lot of agents say anybody that's willing to buy or sell a house. Okay, great. Yeah, we all want to make the sale, of course, but that's if you're doing any sort of advertising and you're trying to make it appeal to everybody, what happens is it actually is less effective. And then you end up really getting nothing because your marketing is not resonating with anybody very deeply. So what you want to do is figure out who your ideal client is. Where do they live? What's their age range? What type of homes are you trying to sell here? Things like that. And that's who you want to speak to in your marketing. And you can start obviously duplicating this out once you have one going, but your marketing really should have a direction on who you're speaking to if you're doing any sort of videos or online posting or anything like that. Otherwise, it's probably going to fall flat and then you're going to be frustrated. So you really want to sit down and write it down. Who's my ideal client? Where do they live? And who do I want to talk to in my marketing pieces? So, like I said, broad targeting is one of the major marketing mistakes, which result in real estate agents trying to attract everyone and ending up attracting nobody. It also results in increased ad spend and mismanaged time and energy. You can effectively and masterfully sell anything, especially housing and loans, if you understand three major things. Know who your ideal customer/audience is, know where they are, and know what kind of challenges they face. Trying to speak everyone's language actually results in you connecting with less people. The better you know your prospective clients, the better your results will be in a shorter amount of time. So, keep that in mind as you're starting to ramp up for next year. We have, rates hopefully falling, although that didn't happen this week, but rates should be trending down over the course of the next year or two. Sales volume should start picking up. The past 3 years have been fairly dismal, just on a national level. So, if you want to make 2025 your best year yet, or your best year in many years, then you want to get organized with your marketing pieces. So, real quick, top 3 ways an agent can grow their Facebook or Instagram following fast, and it's consistent, high quality content. Just an image doesn't always go that far. Just a picture of a house or something like that with, a caption at the bottom or something, it's filler, but it doesn't necessarily resonate. Videos are the best. Those will go the furthest. People will get to know your personality, be authentic in them. If you don't want to be on camera, you can always face the camera out and talk. Sometimes that helps with, people who are camera shy. If you're going to do a tour of a home or something, instead of having it on you, if you're facing it out, going into the home and things like that, try doing that so you get more comfortable speaking in front of the camera, or at least with a camera while it's rolling. That is a good way to kind of build into it. Value added content, provide tips, tricks, and insights about the housing market, home improvement, local neighborhoods, etc. behind the scenes. People like that kind of stuff. If you're doing a photo shoot for your upcoming listing or something like that, that's a good, I guess, teaser, before you actually roll out the listing. It's an additional opportunity to put out content for that day or for a couple days is, behind the scenes type stuff. You always want to engage with your audience. So, after you post, just don't not check in. You want to respond to the comments. That's where the agents see the leads, is in the conversations, not always with a direct reach out from the client. So, or from the customer or whoever. It's the comments where people are talking about what you posted and you responding to them and creating a conversation and then taking that offline into Messenger or a phone call or something like that. So you really want to be mindful of, are people commenting and responding to each of them, especially to get it going in the algorithm. Use Instagram stories or Facebook. I mean, almost everything's got stories now. Even YouTube has YouTube Shorts now, to share quick updates, polls, ask me anything sessions, things like that, to encourage interaction. Collaborate with others, partnering with local businesses, influencers, or other real estate agents for joint giveaways or content. It's a great idea, especially local businesses. If you needed something to post that day and you went and had lunch, got coffee, something like that at a local business, you shot a video, you shot a picture, whatever, tag that business in there, because it helps the local business, but they see you too. So, and they might also respond or share your post. So it gains you more exposure. And then utilizing the features, hashtags, you always want to use those. If you're going to run ads, Instagram is good, Facebook is good. It really depends on what you're running, though. I'm happy to sit down and chat with you if you're thinking about running ads, because you do have to have a good pitch and value proposition. And then explore using the Reels and IGTV and things like that, or the YouTube Shorts for your shorter videos. The shorter videos are good because people's attention spans aren't that long. They don't want to sit down and watch a 15, 20, 30-minute video. And I appreciate you guys coming on, every Monday to listen for about an hour. But, for someone to sit down and listen to what you're talking about for marketing your house or your new listing or something like that for 15 minutes is just too long. So the little short videos are the best. Okay, so let's get into some ideas for seasonal stuff. So again, fall, winter season, ideal for posting things. There's a ton of content opportunity out there. Think about running some actual campaigns. I'm not talking about paid campaigns. I'm just talking about, on your social media channel, is it reflective of the seasons that we're going into? So instead of just posting, the same stuff that you've been posting all year long, a picture of a house, here's my new listing, hey, I'm under contract, can you give it some flavor of the season, with what you're doing in your content? Because that is going to attract more people, and they're going to like that a lot better because they're relating to it. So here's a few that, you can kind of think of. Obviously, there's a ton of stuff you can go out there and do, but here's some campaign ideas. Example, Home is Where the Heart Is campaign. Create a social media campaign featuring heartwarming images of families enjoying their homes during the holidays. Gratitude for Home post. These are great things for realtors that kind of tie into our business a little bit. Express gratitude for the comforts of home and encourage followers to do the same. See, you're not asking for business in these things. These are just your everyday posts that you're kind of putting out. Sprinkle this stuff in, and it's not an advertisement. It's not, hey, list your home with me. But it's resonating with your audience because they want to do that, and this is the season and everybody's kind of feeling the same way. So winter and holiday season ideas, cozy up in your new home marketing, create social media posts featuring cozy winter scenes in your home or in homes or your home, and highlights the benefit of owning a home during the holiday season. Obviously, we're in California, not everywhere has snow, things like that going on. However, a lot of towns do um, decorate for the holidays and things like that. There's some streets in some cities that really go all out, kind of showing that a little bit. Um, and if you guys have any other ideas, I'd love to see them in the chat. Maybe something you do on the regular. That'd be really cool to see if you want to throw that in the chat as well. Holiday gift guides. I like cozy up in your city town marketing too, because especially for YouTube, if someone is thinking about moving to that particular town or city, a lot of times they want to see what it's like to live there before they actually live there. They might think maybe they visited once and they really liked it, or maybe they think they want to live there and they want to, they do more research now. So creating, social media posts featuring the winter scenes inside the local businesses and outside and, the streets. Are they hanging stuff on the light poles and things like that? You know, home buyers want to know what it's like there. What's the vibe during the holiday seasons? Um, I have a bunch of them here, so I probably shouldn't go through all of them for sake of time. But if you need a copy of this presentation, I'll put it in the Rise Realty Facebook um, group. We'll put it in there, and you can ask me to, and we'll share this with you. So events and giveaways are great. Again, super easy time of year to do this kind of stuff and kind of connect in. Building, contact lists by doing this is really what you want to do as well. It's connecting with your sphere of influence, but it's also getting them to like your Facebook page, like your Instagram uh, page, and or subscribing to your newsletter or any of those things, so that you can continue the marketing to them and continue being in front of them after the holiday season is over. So really you want to use this as, a way to build up your database and getting them to follow you, so that you're in front of them constantly. So events and giveaways. Actually, we have something in the chat. Let me check real quick. So no problem. I'm happy to do these webinars. So events and giveaways, fall season ideas. You can offer listing fee discounts, buyer incentives to attendees of any events you host, get them to sign up for your email list, etc. Here's a fall in love with your new home giveaway. You can offer a giveaway prize like home decor gift card or basket filled with fall treats. Obviously, you're going to require people to follow your social media or subscribe or something, pumpkin patch party. This could be great for, if you have a pretty good community, if you have one of those neighborhoods where people do come out and they do little events and things like that, this would be really good. It's fairly easy to organize. It's really not that expensive. Home is where the heart is bake off. Here would be a sample post of that. Obviously, you're going to get a better picture, but I just kind of threw something in there. But, are you ready to fall in love with your new home? We're giving away a $100 gift card to whatever store so you can cozy up to your space this fall. There's the rules. Follow me on Instagram, like and save the post, tag a friend who needs a new home. That's what you really want. Who needs a new home, who's out there looking, because your audience knows which friends of theirs are out there looking or considering buying a new home. So that's a great way to kind of get, it's not necessarily a referral, but it's information, right? So you could do it for winter as well. holiday sweater parties, gingerbread house decorating, holiday movie nights. This is all stuff you can do in your community. Or you can even sponsor some of this stuff. I know some communities do like movie nights and stuff in an open space. Um, so think about sponsoring that kind of stuff as well. It is really not very expensive usually. Someone told me theirs was $50 to sponsor a movie night at I think it was their kid's school. And so, I mean, what a great way to spend $50 on marketing, right? So, um, sample posts this would be, for like a gingerbread, contest or something. Um, and you have to remember, this isn't like direct marketing all the time. This is you getting exposure within your community as a local realtor. Are you wearing a shirt, name tag, something like that as you're doing these events so that people maybe do come up and talk to you? That's really what it is. It's not a hard pitch. So you want to get that kind of thought out of your head that these aren't hard pitches for the most part. This is you just being involved and getting more exposure for yourself and your brand. Um, I got a bunch of other giveaway ideas here. And again, I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but uh, gift baskets, home tool kits, especially first time buyers. A lot of times they don't have that kind of stuff. Um, I've done the home cleaning service quite often, actually, especially for my clients who are selling their home because it's a good closing gift, in my opinion, because the last thing they want to do after they move all their stuff out is go and clean their old home. Nobody wants to do that, right? So a lot of them really appreciate that they don't have to either hire a company to come and do it or do it themselves because maybe, money's a little tight. They're moving into a new home, moving expenses, all that kind of stuff. So I personally like that one. It's not flashy, but it is always well appreciated from my clients when I give them the cleaning service. Engraved items, I see that a lot. Family portraits, people really can appreciate that. That can get a little expensive, so I guess it depends on, if you're doing either a giveaway or this as a closing gift. Um, a lot of people are taking pictures this time of year, family pictures. So it's also a really good gift giveaway. Um, you'll need to know, obviously, a local photographer or something and work out that price because it can be a little expensive, but um, it's a good one because a lot of people are taking pictures, family pictures now for their holiday cards and things. Something more direct as far as like I'm giving this away because I want business. Home staging consultation, home improvement consultation, real estate investing seminar, home buying or selling workshop. One of our agents is running ads right now. Um, he's got, I think, 14 signups already in the first week for a first-time home buyer seminar. And he's newly licensed. He hasn't even really sold a home yet. He's got one in contract, but he's really putting himself out there, and he's partnered with a lender, to help put this on, so the lender can talk about all the mortgage stuff available for first-time home buyers. So he doesn't even have to handle that part of it. He's just, organizing it. He's there as the realtor. So think about that kind of stuff too. And you may not get business today from it, but you will have contacts of people who are, probably first-time home buyers and looking to buy a home very, very soon, maybe right after the first of the year. Again, this is stuff giving you momentum going into the new year. So, um, open houses, for those who are doing open houses, those who love doing open houses, think about spending $100 or something like that and getting some, I guess you could call them props, whatever you want to call them, to decorate the home for the season. Fall season, you can always find fake pumpkins and different things like that to, put on the counter or maybe put on the table, just to kind of give it that feeling, because as the people come through, they are going to appreciate it. They're going to think it's cute. It makes for better pictures and videos when you're doing your open house videos when you're there and things like that. And you can use it over and over and over again in each of your open houses. So here's a couple themes if you're, thinking that might be a good idea for your open houses rather than just, if you're sitting in a vacant house with no furniture and stuff, then at least decorating a little bit on the countertop, maybe the stair banister, things like that, a little bit here and there, can help at least make it be a little more inviting. What else do we have? So here's some tabletop ideas basically that you could probably get for $100. Easy ways to reconnect and build your sphere of influence. So if you don't have a very big sphere of influence at the moment, or you have not been engaging them this year or recently, again, now's a good time. So as we saw, and everybody that even posted in here, pretty much everybody got their business from their sphere of influence. Their last sale came from their sphere of influence. So it's the number one source for repeat business and referrals, and really what we should be spending our money on. I mean, you could throw money all day long at Facebook ads and Google and Zillow and whatever you want, but if you actually focused on your sphere of influence and focused energy there and funds there, you would probably see a better rate of return than any other thing you're going to do. I had connected with a rookie agent a couple years back who did 26 million in sales in his first 18 months of getting licensed. 5 buyer side sales and 2 listings came from direct reach out calls to his database and to his sphere of influence. So 7 of those sales came from him just picking up the phone and talking to people that he already knew. And I don't know why we're so shy to do that as realtors. I always say a secret agent sells no home. So if your sphere of influence doesn't know that you're a real estate agent, that can help with buying and selling, then they're not going to call you. So really everybody should know all the time that you are a real estate agent, and you don't want to, shove it down their throat every single day, but making it be known, if they're following you on social media and all these other places, and if you're not posting anything real estate related ever, then you're not going to be top of mind to them. So you really want to tap into your sphere of influence, and the next 3 months are the best time to do that, because it's not, I guess it's not going to feel weird for you or for them if you're, again, if you're kind of shy, or you feel like you're bugging them or something like that. You don't want to feel that way, but this is a good time to do it because you have an excuse. There's all of these holidays coming up. Personalized videos are great. So a lot of us send out holiday cards and thank you cards and things like that. Think about the personalized videos though, especially birthday videos, which is off topic, but wishing someone a happy birthday or happy holidays or happy Halloween, whatever, in a video, definitely resonates a little bit more. Everybody likes to get a card for sure, but getting that versus maybe a canned text message or something like that is better, or even just saying it on your social media that you appreciate all of their business and support and things like that, and make it seem as if you're speaking to them, really goes a long way as well. So think about that. You can do a lot of these now, especially if you have a contact management system, because you can schedule this stuff out to send out on the day that you want it to send out and just have it pre-recorded. So if you're, a little slow one day or 1 week or something like that, record some videos, and you can spend, a little bit of time if you want to do any edits or anything like that. A pretty easy editor is called CapCut. If you want to use that, you can add in the captions, you can make it look good. So starting now is really a good time to start doing this and thinking about this so you have it all ready, because we get busy too. Everybody gets busy during the holidays with just life. So if you're doing this stuff now before we get to that time when we're really busy, and then all of a sudden now it's too late, if you already have this all prepped up, then you won't miss a beat, you know. Pop buys. These are good. I like pop buys. My title rep does this every year. So uh, there's a ton of things you can do with pop buys if you want to do that with your past clients. I see pies are very, very popular. One of my agent friends, he does pies. He goes to Julian Pie Company every year and picks up a whole bunch of pies, and he delivers them to the doorstep and stuff like that. Great way to, kind of meet up with someone that you haven't talked to in a few months, or a past client you sold a house to, this year or even previously, years back. And if you're consistent with this, then they kind of expect it, I guess, every year. But you're also staying top of mind with them. So think about some local businesses and maybe something they do that's pretty unique to the area, that's very successful on their end. Um, and maybe you're supporting them. Again, you're doing, a bit of tagging them in your posts and things like that, collaboration. But there's a ton of stuff you can do a pop by for, ranging in all different types of price ranges, and again, consider this your marketing budget for that month. Um, if you don't have a huge marketing budget. So for, a few $100s, you can go and reconnect with a bunch of your sphere of influence people, and again, get back to being top of mind as their go-to realtor referral. I came across this one from another group. It's called a reverse pop buy. So instead of kind of like showing up somewhat unannounced to a house, it's really the opposite. And they do this once a year on one of the holidays, actually any time of the year, but again, the next 3 months are the best, where they really lead up a lot. There's a lot of touches, on a weekly basis leading up to this one event. So it's like the complete opposite. So it's not unannounced at all. It's, we're doing this, and then a reminder, and then another, and then this and this, and all these things are kind of happening up until the event. So I do have a copy of that you can link to um, in this presentation here. A couple of the tried and true things. I mean, I got an agent friend. He was actually my mentor out in Las Vegas, and so he's got to be 23 years in the business now, because he started 2 years before me. So he has been sending out calendars and sports schedules and notepads and stuff, along with his card, his holiday card, for literally the entire time I've known him as a real estate agent. And he just continues to do it. And he does not spend money on cold marketing. He has built, in the beginning, he did a lot of mailers. Me and him did a lot of mailers together, a lot of mailers. And he built up a really good book of business through there. And that is where he gets all of his business. I'd say more than the last half of his business, probably 3/4 of the last years he's been in business have been just referral. I mean, he's super busy. He's one of the top agents in Las Vegas, and all of it is sphere of influence. So it took, the first, you know, 5 years of his business to put out the marketing and get busy. And then now it's just all referral stuff. And so he stays top of mind by doing this kind of stuff once a year, plus other things too. He does pick up the phone a lot. But there's lots of things that you can send out. Um, you know, notepads, pencils, small technology, little zip drives and things like that. I mean, there's a ton of stuff that's out there that you can get branded. You know, Vistaprint and places like that all have that kind of stuff. So easy things to send out. CMAs for past clients. So for the people that you've sold homes to, a good thing to touch on. And if you are consistent with it, um, maybe end of the year, sending out just a little CMA, you know, hey, just want to let you know, here's where your home value is. Everybody likes to know. Um, you're not trying to sell them anything or anything like that, but these can be easily done from all of your past clients that you sold homes to because everybody wants to track their equity. That's just something people do for the most part. So it's a very easy thing. Just say, hey, I do this once a year for all my clients, and here's which current home value is, and keep me in mind for friends and family kind of thing. Newsletters. If you've been thinking about getting a newsletter together, they are underrated, I think. Um, I get them all the time. I get a ton of them from lenders. Um, Occasionally, I get on a mailing list for just other realtors and things like that. But it's a good time of year to implement that because there's lots of events and things going on that you can talk about in your newsletter. Um, Halloween things coming up, obviously Thanksgiving events, Christmas tree lightings, all of this kind of stuff that just happen within our communities. So those are easy things to put together for a newsletter if you want to get that started. And then obviously you want to keep that going after the beginning of the year. But um, there's a ton of places that you can go to get one going. A lot of them have newsletter templates already, and it's just like a little bit of plug and play. If you're doing it once a month, this is not a hard thing to do. I'd say probably be less than an hour of your time each month to put together a newsletter and send it out to your email list. So, and then you want to always be building that email list as well with these other events and campaigns and things like that, obviously. Um, Final closing statements, they will need this for their taxes. So you sending out the uh, closing statement for when they bought their home, along with a Christmas card or separate or however you want to do it, is something they're going to need. And you'll find a lot of times they may reach out to you the following year and say, hey, do you have a copy of my closing statement? And so just providing that, especially if you sold something, earlier in their year and you haven't connected with them, and sending it out, just saying, hey, you're going to need this for your taxes. Hope everything's been great, so on and so forth, and get that sent out to them. Let's see, what else? Getting back to the community, just a couple little wrap up things here. This is easy. Again, there's a lot of outreach during this time of year, a lot of volunteer opportunity. Again, these are not times to say, I'm a realtor. Do you want to list your home with me? This is you just getting involved with the community and making connections with other people locally. You can do this obviously throughout the year, but these next few months are an easy time to do it. So reach out opportunity for your sphere of influence. Again, this is not a solicitation of business. It's a sincere reach out for the benefit of the charity or volunteer organization. So if you do not have a regular charity or volunteer group that you donate time to, try reaching out to your sphere of influence and offer your time to a group they are working with. Maybe you're new to the area and you don't have much of a sphere of influence, but you do know a couple people, or maybe you want to start getting involved with something locally. This is where you can start creating some sphere of influence as well through volunteer groups and other things like that, where you're donating some time. Um, so this is an easy time of year to kind of jump into that and give yourself a little bump with your sphere of influence. Another thing is that I've seen, I've had realtors do this in my own neighborhood. Actually, every year, it's not even the same person. is they want to pick up items to go and donate, essentially on your behalf, I guess. And so, they'll go and door knock. They usually have a flyer that they'll drop off stating that they're, picking up canned goods or blankets or jackets or something like that for a certain nonprofit. And they'll be back again on Thursday to come and pick everything up. Just put it outside, put it in a bag. You don't need to be home. Just put it outside. I'll come pick it up. Um, the flyer, yes, it has your name, it has your DRE number, it has your company logo on it, but it's not anything having to do with real estate. It's about picking up for that particular organization. And then obviously you go and drop that stuff off. School support, if you have kids in school, even if you don't, but if you do, great opportunity. There's lots of events coming up to donate time to. I know my children's elementary school every year did a really big fall festival. They had a haunted house. We would convert the little lunch area to this whole haunted house. That's usually what all the dads worked on, was the haunted house. And then they had a ton of booths that needed to be built, and game booths and things like that. So a great time to really donate and spend time with people at some of those events, and have genuine conversations and connections and things like that. If you don't have that kind of time, at least maybe donating things that will be needed for their upcoming events, that helps as well. Someone did put in a company that they use for branding and things like that, for newsletters, postcards, and things like that. So check the chat. And last but not least, client appreciation event. And I know everybody always sees dollar signs when they think of client appreciation event. It doesn't have to be $10,000, it could be as easy as calling up your local ice cream shop or something like that and just say, hey, from the hours of 2 to 4, I'm gonna have, my clients come over, and I'm gonna pay the bill, for their dessert. And maybe you want to make it like on a Thursday or maybe a Friday or something like that, maybe after school, so that they can go straight from school over to that little event. And we're literally talking a couple $100 in marketing dollars, right? And that's your client appreciation event. Obviously, you want to be there and mingle with everybody and have, some of your stuff out and things like that. But it doesn't have to be a huge, extravagant thing that costs thousands and thousands of dollars. Just think local, and think, if you're going to get it started, it doesn't have to be huge. Just do something kind of small and let it be known that it's your client appreciation event. And, you're going to do it once a quarter, once a year, whatever it is. If you don't want to commit to that, you don't have to. But again, now's a good time to do that kind of thing because we're rounding out the year. So, someone said they can't see the link. In the chat, they put a phone number if that's what you're looking for. So that's about all I have for seasonal marketing ideas. Again, this isn't, no one of these things is going to save your business, right? You have to do multiple things and you have to be consistent with it. The only person that's going to save your business or grow your business is you. So I just wanted to share a lot of ideas because there's just a lot of things that you can start over the next few months, hopefully this month, because this is a great month. And then you'll have 3 really great months to get started with some really good marketing stuff that you can carry through into the next year. And more than likely, you will have some business coming from this that will, lead into 2025. So hopefully you got your wheels turning a bit. And I'm happy to do, if you want to sit down one-on-one on Zoom and go over some ideas that you're thinking about, I'm happy to, bounce ideas and things like that. We can also just do a phone call. I like talking about that kind of stuff. And, you know, I've heard of a lot of other things that other realtors have done as well that I might be able to share too. And if it was a success or not, why it was, why it wasn't, so on and so forth. So, yeah, so if you need anything, always give me a call. I hope you have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.